And we're back for our daily NBA best bets here on Monday, November 3rd. We've got a good amount of games today for the National Basketball Association, and we've got some big games because you know what? It is Miles Turner's return to Indiana. This is the game I've been waiting for. I have not gone off on my Miles Turner tangent in about a week. Just wait. I got some things to say today. Anyways, both LA teams play late. Lakers go to Portland. Heat are in Los Angeles to take on the Clippers. And we've got a good amount of games. Hey, Morant returns tonight. So a lot of stuff going on today in the association. Of course, the Knicks shoot 60% from three yesterday when we pick against them because why not? You know, because of course they do. Of course. I hate the Knicks. Anyways, folks, before we get into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA best bets here on the channel. Earlier today, our first college basketball best bets video of the year. Every single day, 5 a.m. Pacific, college basketball best bets, 7 a.m. Pacific, NBA best bets. You're not going to miss either of those videos every single day on the channel. Again, make sure to stay tuned again every single day on Greedo Plays. College football predictions also come out today at 4 o'clock Pacific. 4 hours, probably longer, of college football predictions. I haven't made the video yet. I'm going to make it right for this one, so it's probably going to be 4 hours. You're not going to miss that either. NFL predictions later in the week. Let's do it. First, 5 bets today. You knew it was coming, okay? It was either this or it was a Miles Turner under. But you know what? Turner's kind of been performing a little bit recently, so can't do that. Pacers plus 6.5. The Indiana Pacers have now finally seen some success. They've finally gone, they've seen it go through the net. 5-point victory at home against the Golden State Warriors, and a much-needed victory for Indiana against a Warriors team that wasn't playing hurt. Curry played, Kuminga played, Draymond played, Jimmy Butler played, and the Pacers went in there and beat them up. It was a huge fourth quarter. They were down going into the fourth. Indiana down by, I believe, 6 points going into the fourth quarter, goes out there, outscores the Warriors, obviously, and wins the game. Aaron Nesmith with the performance that we can say looked like a postseason performance last year for Nesmith. 31 points on 10 of 19 shooting and 5 for 11 from beyond the arc, and a 5-point win for Indiana. Pascal Siakam was good as well, 27 points, and again, Spicy P's been good all season long. And how about the emergence of Quentin Jackson? Quentin, not Rampage Jackson, went out there and scored 25 points on Golden State in 31 minutes. We understand this is a Pacers team that is the most injured in all of basketball. I mean, we can list the injuries, but it's a long list right now. Obviously, came into the season with no Halliburton, no TJ McConnell, no Cam Jones. Benedict Matherin's out for a couple weeks. Obi Toppin's out until February. Nembhard's out. Furphy's back. Whoop. Ray J. Dennis might not play tonight. It is a banged up team, but yet guys keep filling in and making plays. So now it's Quentin Jackson, Ben Shepherd, Nesmith, Siakam, Isaiah Jackson, and the other bigs really filling out the rotation. Jarris Walker and company filling out the rotation tonight for Indiana. If there's ever a game where these guys, hell, they're playing Mac McClung too. If there's ever a game that Indiana will get up for and make sure that they are competitive in, it is this one. I'm telling you, I don't think these guys like Miles Turner anymore. And why do I say that? It's because the way Turner's talking about Indiana and the way he's talking about Tyrese Halliburton means he doesn't like this team. Guys, there might be a fight tonight. There might be. And, you know, we know Halliburton's going to be there. Halliburton will be on the bench watching the game, obviously injured. But the comments I've been waiting to bring up about Miles Turner, here it is. Why is Miles Turner going on podcasts and saying that Tyrese Halliburton's a fake tough guy and that he, you know, he wouldn't actually fight you in the street? Yeah, I mean, why would Tyrese Halliburton actually fight you on the basketball court? Which players on an NBA court, other than like Ron Artest and like Latrell Sprewell, would actually go out and fight you if you talked back to him? It's, you know, Isaiah Stewart, no star player. All star players talk big. But Miles Turner, who you played like dog ass in the NBA Finals, you got carried to that Finals by Halliburton. You don't get there without Halliburton. And all of a sudden, he's a fake tough guy. The city of Indiana doesn't appreciate me. Fake as hell. Fake as hell. I'm serious. Like, I don't know what the city did to this guy. I don't know what, maybe did Halliburton say something to him? Because, guys, this is the same guy, Miles Turner, who didn't like Oladipo. When Oladipo left, there was beef. Now, when Miles Turner leaves, there's beef as well. I mean, obviously, the problem is Miles Turner. And the big tough guy, oh, Halliburton wouldn't fight you. Miles Turner sits on the bench in games he doesn't play at and wears this. Okay? Fake tough guy, fake player. Indiana's going to bully him tonight. I mean, seriously. Box him out and grab every board. And, he's going to get a cool block. The Pacers are going to be fine. I'm telling you, this is as motivated as Indiana will be. You saw that motivated effort the Pacers put on against OKC to start the season in Indiana? This is the type of performance we're going to see tonight. I'm telling you, beating Miles Turner means something. And I hope the fans in Indiana, and I think they're gonna do the right thing, they boo him out the building. Give him a Kevin Durant-like return. There's no thank you. There's no video package. There is booing nonstop when that guy touches the basketball. Boo him at will. I'm serious. You take the fan section that was dedicated to him and shred it to smithereens. Like unveil the Halley squad. Because this guy, no. This guy is not worthy of anything in Indiana anymore. Now, there's a problem with Pacers plus 6.5 a little bit. It's Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis has always shredded the Pacers. He's always scored big points against the Pacers. Now, his teammates have not always come through against Indiana. I think this is fine. Again, here's the thing. Giannis can put up 37 and 40-point nights like he's done already this season, and his team can still lose. Like, they played Cleveland on the road, and Giannis put up 40, 14, and 9, and his team still lost. I mean, Giannis is saying, this is my city. I'm never going to leave you. I mean, dude, I don't think anybody's really fighting to be the king of Milwaukee. You got that one, man. The Bucks lost to the Kings. They put up 133. They couldn't get a defensive stop at all, and they lost to Levine, Westbrook, Schroeder, DeRozan, Sabonis, and Sacramento the other night on Saturday. And Giannis put up 26, 11, and 8. His team still loses. So again, Giannis can have a monster, Herculean-type effort, and his team will still lose. Indiana is going to be playing as an actual unit tonight, and they are doing their absolute most to beat down Miles Turner. Again, boo him every single time he touches the ball. Give me Indiana to win the basketball game, but the better bet and the best bet is plus 6.5 for Indiana at home against the Milwaukee Bucks. Don't forget, Indiana has eliminated these guys each in the last 2 seasons. I know Halliburton's not playing tonight, but he's there in spirit. He's on the bench, okay? I need Hallie to get into Turner's face. Halliburton can walk. He's even dunking already, so I need Hallie to start something tonight, okay? That's just what I'm saying. Can we bring back James Johnson for one night only? What is James Johnson doing right now? Can James Johnson show up to the Gainbridge Fieldhouse just to fight Miles Turner? You want to see a tough guy? Come on now. I'm just saying. Anyways, Pacers plus 6.5. Next up, we go to our best player prop of the day. Here comes Jaylen Brunson. Ooh. So when I completely bet against the New York Knicks and fade them, they go out and they don't miss a 3-point shot. They could not miss yesterday against the Chicago Bulls, and the Bulls had a great night. Josh Giddey, MVP candidate. Josh Giddey had a great game, yet New York didn't miss. And Jaylen Brunson was a big reason towards that. Now, Brunson kind of cooled off as the game went on. He was superb to start the game and had an amazing first half. Second half-wise, though, Brunson really wasn't... He was good. He wasn't great. Now, Brunson as a whole last game, though, yesterday against the Bulls, 32 minutes, 31 points, 10 of 22 shooting, and 4 of 11 from beyond the three-point line. The line today for Brunson three-pointers is 2.5. And normally, I stay off back-to-backs. Our next 3 of our next 4 bets are going to be teams on back-to-backs. But I'll explain why I'm taking them later. This one for Brunson's easy for me. He usually puts through 3 3-pointers. I mean, he gets the volume. If Brunson doesn't reach this is just going to be one of these games like, I hate the Knicks, they suck, and they didn't do what they're supposed to do. And they're still at the Garden here. Knicks are at home tonight against the Washington Wizards. Should be a blowout, you'd think. Don't underestimate the Knicks' ability to keep a bad team in a game, okay? Especially coming off of a monster night yesterday, taking the O away from Chicago, right? The Bulls and Spurs both lose yesterday for the first time this season. Again, the Knicks have the great ability to screw things up here. And I believe that's what's going to happen. I think it's going to be a close game, and they're going to need big shots out of Cap, right? Captain Jaylen Brunson is going to need to come through and put on a big night for New York. This is a guy who plays 35 minutes every single night. He's going to get a lot of run, and he's going to get the volume of shots needed as well. So yesterday against the Bulls, he takes 11 3-pointers, hits 4 of them. Okay. Again, that's still a bad night for Jaylen Brunson. Brunson's only shooting 32% so far this year from beyond the 3-point line. I think that's gotta obviously even itself out a little bit eventually. Against the Chicago Bulls in their first game in the United Center in the NBA Cup game, Brunson goes 3 for 8 from the 3-point line. Bucks game 1 for 5, by far the worst game. Not only Brunson's played all year long, but the New York Knicks played all year long. And of course, we had Knicks money line that night. Whatever. A night before that for Brunson against the Miami Heat, 5 for 11 from 3. Boston 3 for 7. Cleveland game 1 for 9. Nobody could hit a 3 that game for the Knicks, and they still beat the Cavs. And of course, we had the Cavaliers. So tonight, if you can't beat them, like Tyler Glasnow and Blake Snell are saying, if you can't beat them, join them. I'm taking Jaylen Brunson tonight. I think Brunson can go over this mark of 2.5 3-pointers. It's just simply put, it's not a lot. It's really not a lot. For a guy who takes at bare minimum usually 7 3-pointers, asking him to hit 3, let's say he takes 8. Asking Brunson to hit 3 of 8 3-pointers is not a big deal at all. I mean, we're basically asking him to put on what his average has been all year long, or in terms of his shooting percentage has been all year long. If Brunson goes 3 for 8, that's 37%. He's shooting at a 32% rate all year long. And I think you and I both know Jaylen Brunson is better than a 32% 3-point shooter. He just is, right? This is obviously primary ball handler in New York. He's going to take the most shots for the Knicks. They are always trying to find ways. How do we get Jaylen Brunson the basketball? Or how do we get Jaylen Brunson open, obviously, as he's going to draw number 1 defenders? Well, at the same time, what number 1 defender is he drawing from Washington? Exactly. Brunson's going to find his spots, believe you me. I think this game's going to be closer than we think it's going to be as well, so meaning New York's going to have to play their guys deep. I get it. Tired legs, don't really care. I think Brunson should be fine here. Actually played less minutes than he has all year long. Played 32 last night, so I'm going to go Brunson over 2.5 3-pointers. That line's marked at -115. Give me Brunson to get it done at home from the Garden. On to our third best bet of the video. We go to another player prop before we finish it out with the 2 Los Angeles games and spread/money lines in those 2. But first, hey, welcome back, Ja Morant. Hey, Morant's back. He got a 1-game suspension as he did not play their last game against, I believe, the Toronto Raptors. I think it was, yes, yesterday against the Toronto Raptors. Ja Morant did not play that game because he got suspended due to locker room issues, essentially. Well, no, the official report was Ja Morant received a 1-game suspension for conduct detrimental to the team and won't play in Sunday's game against the Raps. Well, that game went about as well as you'd think it'd go for a Ja Morant-less Memphis Grizzlies team. This is something I said last week when they were playing the Phoenix Suns in a late-night game in Phoenix that Ja Morant actually won via a game winner. I said it at the time, and I believe this is very true still. As long as Ja Morant's on the court for Memphis, they have a chance to win. It doesn't matter what teams around him, really. I mean, as long as, you need Jaren Jackson on the court as well. But, as long as Jaren Jackson and Ja Morant are playing, the Grizzlies, whoever, I don't care who the other three guys in the court are. I really don't care who the bench unit is. They have a very good chance to win. And we've seen it time in and time out. When Ja plays, Memphis is a really good team. And as we saw a couple years ago, when Ja goes out via injury, hell, Jaren Jackson's still playing, and the Grizzlies just go down and take their beatings every single night. But when Ja's in the lineup, it is significantly different. Now, I'm not even taking the Grizzlies to win a game here. They are at home against the Detroit Pistons, so they go from up in Toronto all the way back down to Memphis on back-to-back nights. And you'd think, oh, okay, well, a back-to-back's going to suck for the Grizz. It is. You know who it's not going to suck for? Ja Morant. So with all that being said, let's think about this game specifically, right? Detroit and Memphis. Detroit knows that the only guy who has not played back-to-back nights for Memphis tonight is going to be Ja. So a lot of that defensive focus is going to be on Morant. Hell, it would already be on Morant in the first place because, we know who Ja is. On top of that, though, now Ja is going to be looking to kick, and Morant is going to feel like, okay, I got suspended for a game because, Luka, made me go berserk. I say that jokingly, but it's kind of the case. Ja is going to try to get his teammates involved, all right? That's going to be the game plan tonight. Like, yeah, you score if you can take it, obviously, but, Ja, I believe, is going to appear as a team player tonight with his disgruntled head coach and disgruntled organization around him. I mean, hell, again, we know how pitiful the Grizz can be without Ja Morant, and yet they still said, oh, okay, well, if you're going to act like this, we don't want you around right now, or we don't want you to play, so here, let this be a lesson to you. So, Morant played a horrible game against the Lakers, and that's why, the Amazon Prime broadcast during that game is going on a tangent about how, oh, well, Grizz can't win games like this if Ja Morant shoots 0 for 6, and if their star can't get going and scores less than 10 points, they can't be successful. And that's the absolute truth about that. Ja still finds a way to get assists, though, in that game. And the line we're taking tonight is Ja Morant over 6.5 assists. It's a line he's cleared in each of his last 4 games. So back on October 25th against the Indiana Pacers, that was the second night of a back-to-back for Memphis. Obviously, again, Ja actually played in both those games back then, but against the Pacers, it was a win for the Grizz, and Ja scores 19 points, 8 assists. Game after against the Golden State Warriors in San Francisco, Ja scores 23 points and picks up 9 assists. After that, in Phoenix against the Suns, again, the game that he eventually hits the game winner in, Ja 28 points, 7 assists. And then against the Lakers in the crash-out game, the Luka crash-out game in the NBA Cup, maybe Ja was just frustrated he's not going to win the $500,000. Ja, however, scores 8 points, still gets 7 assists. So again, Morant has the ball in his hands at all times. Obviously, he's the point guard. He's their best playmaker. He's their best scorer. Ja is going to get an infinite amount of opportunities tonight to pass the rock and swing the rock in a game in which I believe it's going to be very important for Ja to do so. This is a good Detroit team they're playing. The Pistons have kind of figured it out as of late. Obviously, we know what they offer with Cade Cunningham and company. It's a good team. There are good players in Memphis too. KCP, Jalen Wells, Jaren Jackson. There are guys, again, who Ja is going to be able to kick the rock to. And again, this has been an easy line for him in his last 4 games as he's gone over 6.5 assists in each of those last 4. And I get it, tired legs for Memphis is going to be a little bit more difficult, I guess, for these guys to score. I really don't think it matters. I believe Ja is going to re-energize this team, and I believe these guys are going to knock down some shots. Now, you do have to consider as well, though, like, how does the team feel about Ja Morant? Because it's a weird situation to be in. Like, yeah, obviously, this guy's our best player. He's the face of the franchise. He's the guy with the signature shoe, right? He's the guy who does all the cool dunks and whatnot. Yet, the organization thinks so low of him. Well, not that. They think his character issues are so bad to the point where they feel the need to have to suspend this guy and not play him in a game this early in the season because he crashed out on a coach and crashed out on the bench. So how do you feel like, that's just the thing, like, how do you take that as a player? I mean, obviously, though, that should not really affect things too much. I mean, yeah, your team chemistry and team morale might be down, but if Ja Morant passes you the ball and you're open in the corner, you're still going to try to hit down the 3, aren't you? Right? Memphis is at home, taking on a Pistons team they will need to score on. Detroit scores quite a bit. Should be a high-paced game, and I think the opportunity is going to be there for Ja Morant as well. Again, in his last 4 games, he has easily gone over this line. Well, I can't say easily in one of them, but he's gone over this line in his last 4 games. I believe he's going to do the same exact thing here tonight. I'm taking Ja Morant over 6.5 assists. Again, he's gonna be Mr. Nice Guy tonight, right? He's gonna be a team player, all right? Not looking for himself tonight, looking out for others after the suspension from the team the other day. I'm gonna take Ja Morant over 6.5 assists here at home for the Memphis Grizzlies against the Detroit Pistons. On to our next best bet. Let's go to the Rose Garden and the Moda Center up in the Pacific Northwest, kind of, in Portland, Oregon. We are taking the Los Angeles Lakers to beat the Portland Trailblazers, plus 140. And here's why. I know it's second night of a back-to-back, and at the beginning of the season and early in the season, I did straight up say, I want to avoid as many back-to-back nights as possible, at least picking those teams. And these were going to be spots where we were going to fade the team that's playing the back-to-back. Not with the Lakers. My only concern here is that Luka doesn't play. So, actually, I'd wait, guys. If Luka doesn't play, wait till we get a confirmation if Luka's going to play or not. I believe he's going to, because I think Luka's the type of guy, I think the Lakers realize too, if Luka's healthy, we just need to play him every single night, because, yeah, AR can get it done, but Luka's 26. It's not like we need to load manage him, and it's not like he has the longest, list of injuries. Obviously got hurt earlier in the season, but this is a guy who's been playing through injuries, obviously, throughout his stint in Dallas he did, and for the most part, Luka's been fairly healthy. I don't think he's the type of guy where you have to look at back-to-back and say, okay, we're not going to play him. And there's obviously an emphasis with the league right now not resting guys on second nights of back-to-backs anymore because TV ratings, and that's part of what, negative connotation the NBA gets sometimes, that, okay, players don't play. And hell, don't just take my word for it, take Michael Jordan's word for it, right? I mean, obviously the league is trying to push that a little bit if they are doing sit-down interviews, and I get it's NBC, but still the NBA is airing it, of Michael Jordan doing sit-down interviews saying how much he hates load management, how dumb he thinks it is, and the fact that, if he could suit up and if he could play back in his day in the 90s and the 2000s, I guess the 2000s would have been with the Wizards, but, he would go out and play because that's just who he was. My point with all this being, I think Luka's going to play. So if we get Luka playing, plus 140 is completely fine. And you can say, oh, well, the Lakers lost their first game to Portland. Yeah, that was without Luka Doncic. Yes, they lost by 14 points. That's the difference Luka makes. Portland's good this year, right? We keep saying it. They've been freed of Chauncey Billups' prison. Like, the jail Blazers are back, but I mean, it's just Chauncey who's in jail this time. I think he is. And Portland's a 4-2 team. Hell, them and the Lakers have the same amount of losses. Los Angeles does have one more win as they won last night at home against the Miami Heat. And I know Luka didn't score his points, unfortunately, like we had. But, you know, the biggest moment of that night, Bronny James throwing down the alley-oop from AR. I mean, Austin Reeves got to be the first player in NBA history to throw lobs to both a father and a son. And AR said this himself after the game. But that was the big highlight, man. Bronny getting up there. Oh, my goodness. We're so back. How about the big three right now? Luka, Jake LaRavia, Austin Reeves. We'll get into that in a second. But Portland's playing good basketball. I mean, since, you know, Chauncey Billups got busted by the FBI, they lost one game. They're a 4-1 team since Chauncey went to prison. They beat Golden State, lost in Los Angeles to the Clippers, did beat the Lakers on the road without Luka and LeBron, obviously. Went to Salt Lake City, won a competitive game against the Utah Jazz, and found a way to come back from behind and beat the Denver Nuggets. And I get it, Denver doesn't play defense, especially down the stretch. Like, just watch Nikola Jokic down the stretch in a basketball game. He is not worrying about playing defense at all. But Portland, man, this is a team that is resilient. They fight back, and they're fun. Denny Adjiva this season, and last year too, Adjiva was great, but he's been really good this year. It's just a young core of guys. Shaedon Sharp hits his shots, and yeah, they brought in Drew Holiday, who we'll talk about the last Lakers-Blazers game in a second. But Holiday's that veteran, you know, presence as well with the young guys again, Adjiva, Kamara, Sharp, and Klingon. Yesterday's Lakers game, though, absurd stuff, man. What the Lakers are doing is kind of crazy. No LeBron James, no problem so far, and I'm not going to say, oh, this team doesn't need LeBron. No. What happens when LeBron comes back? I mentioned this yesterday, but I'll say it again. LeBron James, when he comes back, is going to be the number 3 option for the Los Angeles Lakers. Maybe they'll go back to Reeves. Why make the 41-year-old your number 2 option? Make him the 3rd option. LeBron can still average 20 points a game, and maybe he actually plays, you know, very locked down defense this season. I'm telling you, this team's kind of nasty. They are. Jackson Hayes is shooting 3-pointers now. What? Luka's scoring 29, triple-double. AR is scoring 26. Jake LaRavia is coming off the bench playing 35 minutes and scoring 25 points. Who needs DFS? DFS declined his player option. He was going to get $18 million. Said, nope, I'm going to test free agency. I'm going to go to Houston. Have fun there, pal. We have Jake LaRavia. And I'm absolutely serious about that. Now, the last Lakers-Blazers game was just a fake game played by Portland. They couldn't miss. At the same time, the Lakers weren't playing defense. But everyone was nails from beyond the arc, except for Shaedon Sharp. But Denny Adjiva kept hitting threes. Drew Holiday went 4 for 7 from the 3-point line. That just simply put doesn't happen. For reference, Drew Holiday shot 2 for 7 last game against the Denver Nuggets from the 3-point line. My point exactly. It felt like really just a fake game from Portland. They were hitting every shot given to them, and Luka didn't play. Luka's back. DeAndre Ayton surprisingly did not play yesterday for the Lakers. I think I know why. They won him tonight. He had the back injury. He got in Memphis in the NBA Cup game. The Lakers said during that game that Ayton was questionable to return and could return if needed, but that game wasn't, you know, a blowout, but the Lakers had it under control late, and obviously they won it and, you know, won their first NBA Cup game this year. But I thought Ayton was going to play yesterday against Miami. He doesn't. I assume he's just going to play instead in Portland tonight. Revenge game for Ayton. He didn't like it in Portland because it got icy and snowy. Here's your revenge right now. But Jax played pretty well last night. Obviously, LaRavia plays quite a bit. And again, the Luka Doncic presence is absolutely massive. He changes the game, and that's what he's going to do tonight at the Rose Garden. Give me Los Angeles Lakers money line tonight in Portland. Yes, the Blazers are playing good basketball. Eventually, this has to come to an end. I get it, Lakers on the second night of a back-to-back. I don't really care. I think it's great value for them. If you don't love the money line, take the plus 4.5 or plus 3.5 being offered right now for Los Angeles. I'm still taking plus 140 though for the Lakers in Portland against the Blazers. On to our final best bet of the video. Let's keep on fading the Clippers. I can't do it. And so I did say earlier, right, we were going to be picking a lot of back-to-backs today. Not because, again, I'm specifically looking for it, just because I believe the value in a lot of these teams tonight is really good. Guys, we don't need the Miami Heat to beat the Los Angeles Clippers tonight. We just need the game to be competitive. And I get it. It's already a banged-up Heat team, but it's a Heat team that I believe is going to get Norman Powell back tonight. And say what you want about Powell, this is a guy who was a borderline all-star last season, probably should have made the all-star game. I mean, if the NBA knew LeBron wasn't going to play at the last second, that probably would have been Norman Powell's spot in the all-star game last season. But Powell doesn't play yesterday for Miami. I kind of assumed he was going to because, he's a former Clipper and guys always return to play the Los Angeles Lakers. But Powell did not play yesterday due to a groin injury. Okay, well, he's probably going to play the second night of a back-to-back. That's usually how, when you're trying to get guys back from injury, that's how it usually goes. You either play the first night of the back-to-back or you play the second. And I think in this day and age in the NBA, it's probably smarter for teams if you don't want your guy, returning to play 2 games in a row because the NBA is on to this load management right now. Just bring him back for the second game. Give him an extra night off, and you can kind of reevaluate where you think he is. If you don't think he can play either of them, obviously you sit them both out. But it gives you, again, it gives you the potential to sit a night, come back, and not have to worry about the second game in a row with the NBA on your ass about load management and their stars playing in games back-to-back nights. Now, is Norman Powell a star? No, but again, I believe this emphasis on load management this season is going to be huge, and it's going to be a big factor in how teams manage and look at games going forward. So I believe Norman Powell is going to play. Also, I think there's an added bonus, right? Playing in Los Angeles against the Clippers, former team. Los Angeles just doesn't look good. The Clips look absolutely horrible. Okay, you can look at the big headline of their game against the New Orleans Pelicans and see, oh, Kawhi Leonard hit a big, midi. He rose up and made a big-time shot to win the basketball game. Let's not forget how they got there. The Clippers were up by 8 points, really, with 3 minutes to go. They completely choked it. Jeremiah Fears was hitting big shots. Jordan Poole was hitting big shots. And the Pelicans end up tying that game with 8 seconds to go. Clippers have no timeouts. They walk right down the court. Kawhi Leonard, with 2 guys in his face, rises up and hits a shot, and the Clippers win the game. But let's not forget, again, how the Clippers got in that spot. They were up 13-15 going into the fourth quarter, and the Pels just kept chipping away at that lead, and eventually they tied it, never took the lead, and obviously Kawhi hits a big shot. Okay, well, it was a 2-point win for Los Angeles against the Pelicans team, who we've seen be very bad this season. I just got blown out last night in OKC, or yesterday in the middle of the day against OKC. Denver blew them out. Boston blew them out. They play blowout after blowout. Well, they go to Los Angeles, and we had this and played a really competitive game against the Clippers, who do struggle to score sometimes. And then also, as well, a team that doesn't have a player under 28 years old in their rotation. Yep, everybody's old for the Clippers. I'll name you their rotation right now. It's James Harden, Bradley Beal, Kawhi, Derek Jones, Zubac. Again, Zubac and Jones are 28. Chris Dunn off the bench, I believe he's 28 as well. Bogdanovich is in his 30s. Batum's like 38. John Collins is 28. And Brook Lopez is in his late 30s. Also, Chris Paul plays too. You have nothing but old guys. It is, again, we call the Warriors and joke that the Warriors are old in state. The unction is real in Los Angeles and at the Intuit Dome. They are playing just nothing but old guys. And the Kawhi Leonard era, unfortunately, for the Clippers. No, actually, I won't say unfortunately. They were saying this guy was the new king of LA. It has gone to crap. Haven't won anything. Won't win anything. And now they're struggling to put together the pieces with all these old guys. Now, James Harden's hooping. Harden is legitimately still one of the best playmakers and the best pure scorers in basketball. The shots and the circus shots and tricks that Harden pulls out of his ass, or maybe out of his beard, I don't know, is absurd. Harden still does some crazy things in the court. The rest of the team is just really lacking. Zubac plays a decent game still, but I mean, man, Brook Lopez is playing horribly. Derek Jones is athletic, sure. Bradley Beal not playing all that well. I'm taking Miami here, guys. If we're being given points against the Clippers and this many points against the Clippers, we are absolutely taking it. I know it's a Heat team without Tyler Hero and a team that's playing on a second night of a back-to-back and a team that was led in points yesterday for the second time in 3 games by Jaime Jaquez, who had 31 yesterday. I don't really care. I think Miami can still cover. That's how poorly I think of the Clippers. What am I to get excited about for Los Angeles? You have a bunch of 35-year-olds playing. And I think the Heat are going to be able to be very competitive tonight. Plus 8 points, that's a lot, man. For a Clippers team that was a 13.5 or 12.5 point favorite to beat the Pels, beat them by 2 points. They scored 79 points in Golden State against the Warriors. Sure, they beat Portland, which is one that's not aging that well, or aging weirdly, I guess. Beat them by 7. Blew out Phoenix, but Phoenix is awful, and they went to Salt Lake and got blown out by the Jazz. My point with all this being is the Clippers are not good, they're old, and if you can start running against this team, they will not keep up. So give me Miami Heat spread. I get it, second night of a back-to-back. I don't care. Plus 8 on the road for the Miami Heat in Los Angeles at the Intuit Dome against the Los Angeles Clippers. Folks, thank y'all for watching our 5 best bets for November 3rd. If you haven't yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. We'll be back tomorrow for daily NBA best bets. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.